morning, my fellow friends. My name is Yin Wei. I'm from Bachelor of Architecture program in Taylor's, and I'm now currently in semester 4. Today, I would like to present on my research topic in my elective technology in architecture. So my topic will be going around the adaptive architecture. But what is adaptive architecture actually? So currently, what have been done by the topic adaptive architecture is normally the most common example will be the transformable roof, where the roof itself it can move and provide some sort of an within open and enclosed space according to the user's need whenever necessary. So there are also examples where the facades of the building consisting movable panels where it responds to the sunlight intensity, and it's some sort of like to provide the user comfort, so the users inside the building it won't be affected by the too high intensity of sunlight. There are also examples where the architect make the residential projects, they build some sort of like a movable wall which can move inside and outside of the house, and this some sort of like provide a new kind of flexibility in the use of space and also the spatial quality in terms of architecture. So today what I want to talk about is what is called material sensitive morphology, where the projects of architecture are actually built using the sensitivity of the, let's say, plants itself, or they're extracting the elements from the responsive plants in the nature and incorporate it into the architecture production. So let's show me a video to get a better picture of it. So this is a project where the element is extracted from a pine tree, and the structure will respond according to the humidity level in the air. When the humidity in the air is lower, the structure will close, and when the humidity in the air is higher, the structure will open. It will respond in that way. By this way, so the structure is some sort of like controlling the entrance of light. And this is how they construct the structure. Now back to the presentation. So in conclusion, the adaptive architecture, it actually is a combination of these four elements, which is the materiality, the form, space, and structure, and these together form a bigger product, which it actually encourage the interaction with environmental influence and forces. So till now, these are the works have been done, but what is next? Based on due to the technology that we have is currently becoming more and more advanced every day, so we couldn't actually predict what will happen next, but after this there will be my personal direction where I will call it as an imagination, where how the adaptive architecture in the future will look like. So currently, from our observation on the current project, we can notice that the material used is normally kind of like monolithic and is very constant, since the whole structure of the surface is usually using one material but not incorporating others. So, So the keyword here is actuality. Actually, the materials are quite monolithic, and it is some sort of like a very constant kind of material. So what I am proposing is actually, as we all know, normally there is that kind of technology where one apparatus can actually detect the presence of human based on the heat accumulated in their body, and they can some sort of like sense a movement when a human is approaching or is walking away from one area. And this is also quite common in the online games nowadays, where the system can actually detect, like this one, it is some sort of like a neutral or safe existence towards the gamers. And this one, while if the opponent is in attack mode, so it will automatically categorize it as a danger, and it will send the signal to the gamers and let the gamers make the appropriate response. So my research direction will be responsive architecture. So these are some of the figures that can show based on the projects that we reviewed before, and it is not hard to observe that they are actually providing some sort of a fluidity in terms of their structure and design. Not like other transformable architecture where the movable facade, the movable facade that they actually provide some sort of like a one plane movement. But this adaptive architecture, which they based on using the biological elements derived from the nature, it actually some sort of like can transform a building in 3D. So That's my intention. Sorry. So this basically incorporate my design, my research direction. And what I would like to talk about next is about my imagination or the personal invention of one using the technology of adaptive architecture. So let's start with the topic, like with vandalism. As we know now, sometimes vandalism can be quite a headache to the builders or the architects. Like for example, let's take the example. Let's look at the Penang Street, the very famous Penang Street art. So this is the street art, and I believe that most of you will know there were actually some issues regarding this street art earlier ago, where the art is actually being vandalized by some inconsiderate citizens. So let's search for the image again. This one?
On top.
So as you can see, being such a valuable architecture art being vandalized is indeed a very hard hit to all the people in the architecture firm. So my research is actually initiated by this, where how can we help to prevent vandalism in the building. So my research will actually, we start to look at the common things first. So I believe that it is not hard to understand where there are actually some characters in the game or in the movie that which they possess some characteristic where their skin can harden whenever a circumstance happen. So these are the famous examples. So the characteristic, the key point is the skin can be hardened, which means that there must be some properties in their genes or in their biological cell which can make this happen. So my direction will encompass this field where okay, let's say this is a take a normal example in our daily life first. Let's say if we all go for camping. So in the camping, what normally can shelter us is only a soft tent. It is actually prone to due to some danger like criminal or the attack of the wild animals. So what my idea here is actually regarding a tent which I want to make the tent can be responsive to the danger and provide some certain level of protection to the user. Okay, let's say this is the tent, and these are people. Maybe at night we are sleeping inside the tent, and let's say someone out there with bad intention, they want to attack, like they want to attack the users, and maybe they want to make benefits from their criminal activities. So what they will do is they will normally intrude the tent first. They will normally intrude the tents first. This is just for the pictorial presentation where the people can understand it. But normally what people will do, they will like open the tent, but then this technology, if this kind of responsive technology is encompassed into this tent, so what turned out will be this tent, since it is responsive, so it can actually detect the people with a bad intention trying to create some sort of danger to us. So when the people with bad intention, it is like it will automatically like form some sort of provide a certain level of empowerment to the structure itself, like it can momentarily harden the skin, so the attack of the intruders was not succeeded, and at the same time it actually provide some sort of alertness into the people inside. Or if, let's say if we want other kind of like enhancement, maybe we would like to create an additional features. Maybe this is just my personal imagination, where it is not only responsive, but it is also like respond to the attacker and make necessary attacks which can scare away the attacker and ensure the safety of the users. Same thing, this is I believe that this will be a little bit exaggerated, but the same idea this is the same idea I want to express about the vandalism. If let's say we have a building that can have a surface that can resist to the vandalism, I believe that this will solve many problems that is always make the designers or the people in charge, they will solve their headache. So again, I want to conclude that my research direction is actually responsive architecture, the idea that can contribute to issues like vandalism and criminals. So that's all for my presentation today. Thank you.